18th, the chosen text from Psalms 34 verses 7. The angel of the Lord encampeth around about them that fear him and delivereth them. Explanation: how it enlarges the confidence of a Christian to realize that whilst earthly powers may be in opposition, and whilst he may be really of himself powerless to resist adversaries, and whilst in addition to the flesh and blood adversaries, he may realize that he battles also with spiritual wickedness in exalted places against Satan and his minions of darkness, yet that on the other hand, greater is he that is on our part than all that be against us, and that all the heavenly hosts are subject to the divine will and may be employed for the advancement of the divine cause according to divine wisdom. Reprint number 2140. Amen.
Welcome to the Deep Dive.
Today we're looking at a really powerful commentary.
Yeah, this one is on Psalm 34, verse 7. And our mission today is to really dig into how this passage helps build confidence for someone who feels, completely powerless.
Right. And the source doesn't just offer a simple platitude. It starts by validating that feeling of being overpowered. It really maps out the opposition.
It absolutely does. And it's not just a single threat, is it? It breaks it down into these three distinct levels of adversity.
Exactly. 3 layers.
The first two are sort of the ones we'd expect. The source calls them earthly powers and flesh and blood adversary.
The tangible stuff, the conflicts at work, the difficult relationships, the things you can see and point to.
Exactly. But it's the third layer that really changes the game.
It does. This is where the commentary goes deeper to what it calls spiritual wickedness in exalted places.
And it's very explicit about what that means. It's not vague.
No, not at all. It defines it as Satan and his minions of darkness.
Which means that completely reframes the problem, doesn't it?
Yeah, it has to. Because if you're just fighting flesh and blood, you can come up with a human plan, a strategy.
But when you add in that metaphysical layer, that spiritual wickedness, then feeling powerless is actually a pretty rational response.
It's justified. The source is essentially saying, yes, you are outmatched on your own. And acknowledging that is the first step toward the actual solution it presents.
Okay, so that sets the stage. The opposition is immense, both seen and unseen. So where does the confidence come from?
Well, the commentary pivots on this one core assertion. It's the phrase that turns the entire equation on its head.
Greater is he that is on our part than all that be against us.
That's the one. And the deep dive here is into the sheer magnitude of that greater force.
So it's not just a general feeling of support. The source describes something concrete.
Very. It states that all the heavenly hosts are subject to the divine will. So we're talking about an organized, massive counterforce, a whole celestial army, if you will.
An army, okay. But that leads to the obvious question, right? If that overwhelming support is there, why is the struggle still so real for so many people?
And that is the crucial caveat. The source is very careful here. This power isn't just unleashed indiscriminately.
So there are conditions.
Yes. The commentary says these heavenly hosts may be employed for the advancement of the divine cause. But, and this is the key, it's always according to divine wisdom.
So it's strategic. It's not a magic shield that just makes all problems disappear.
Precisely. The confidence, then, isn't about expecting a life with no conflict. It's about trusting that there's a higher strategy at play.
A strategy that you can align with.
Exactly. The promise is for those who fear him, which in this context means living in reverence and alignment with that divine cause. When you're aligned, you have the backing of that, that ultimate strategic force.
So let's bring this together for a final thought. The confidence this passage describes isn't based on ignoring the fight.
Not at all. It's the opposite. It's about, first, fully understanding the scale of the opposition's stakes, like it's earthly, personal, and spiritual.
And then second, understanding that the counterforce is even bigger and it's organized. It encampeth round about.
Right. But it's deployed with purpose, with divine wisdom.
Which leaves a really provocative thought for you to take away.
If the deployment of all the heavenly hosts is tied specifically to the advancement of the divine cause, what does it mean for you to ensure that your own personal struggles, your goals, and your battles are genuinely aligned with that larger purpose? How do you make that divine strategy your own?